Hey everyone, welcome to the video of the week. Today's video of the week is my top 10 favorite superheroes and supervillains. These will not be separated by DC or Marvel at all. So here we go with number 10 of the superheroes. Number 10, I gotta say, is probably Hawkeye. I don't understand why I really like him. I just started kind of liking him out of nowhere, honestly, because at first it was kind of like, oh, yeah, he's okay. But considering the fact that he likes to use bow and arrows, that's the reason why. So, with that said, we're going to move on to our next superhero. Number 9 is a man that's probably on most of you guys' top 10 list, superhero-wise, Ghost Rider. For some reason, I've always loved Ghost Rider. I think it's just because he kind of has like that medieval edge to him as well. But he's always been something that's really unique and very, very interesting. So with that said, let's move on to number 8. Number 8, very kind of similar to Ghost Rider, but of course very different in a way. Human Torch, a member of the Fantastic Four. He's probably my favorite from the Fantastic Four. I'm a big fan of Chris Evans, so probably him as Human Torch was amazing to me. Let's move in to number 7. Number 7 is Daredevil. I don't know, it's just always been interesting to me how his costume is, or his suit, depending on what you want to call it. His whole story, his origins and everything are very interesting to me. Now let's move on to number 6. Number 6, Tony Stark, Iron Man himself. If he's not on your list, I don't know what you're thinking, but honestly, Iron Man is probably one of the best superheroes today. Obviously representing the Marvel side of the picture here. But he's definitely probably one of the ones that are on most of everybody's lists. Anyways, let's move into number 5. Number 5 is Black Panther. Now, this is one that I've originally just started kind of liking fairly recently, and the reason being is behind the movie Civil War. I think that the actor who did portray Black Panther did an awesome job, and it actually made me create the new look for Hellhound. If you guys watch my Rise of the Dog Pound or Rise of the Hellhound series, you will know what I'm talking about. The latest look of Hellhound kinda was based behind of Black Panther. So, anyways, with that said, let's move into number 4. Number 4 is another person that's probably on at least most of yours, and that is the X-Men's Wolverine. He's always been very, very intriguing to a lot of people, including myself. So that's probably why I like him. Anyways, let's move into number 3. Number 3 is the Incredible Hulk, or the Hulk. For some reason, I think everybody likes the Hulk. Very, very strong superhero. Very unique as well. So with that said, we're going to move into number 2. Number 2 is probably Captain America. He's always kind of been one of my top guys. And he always kind of will. I always have a soft spot for Cap. So with that said, let's move on to number 1. And number 1 goes to SpiderMan. He's always kind of been a top 1 of me, and he probably will be for a top 1 for most of you. I'm very excited to see Spider-Man Homecoming. I have not yet watched it. I've heard many people say it is very, very good movie, and I can't wait to see how Tom Holland does. He did amazing in Civil War, in my opinion. But let's get into our supervillains. Why don't we? Number 10 of the supervillains goes to Catwoman. Now it depends on how you see her. You might say she's not really a superhero. She's not really a supervillain. It really all depends on how you see it. But Catwoman has always kind of been one of my favorites. She's very unique. And I loved the Catwoman movie. Anyways, with that said, let's move into number 9. SpiderMan was my first and probably my favorite of all superheroes. So you'll probably see a lot of Spider-Man's villains in here as well. So number 9 is Green Goblin. He's very interesting to me. That's really all I can tell you about it. Let's move on to number 8. Number 8 goes to Poison Ivy. For some reason, she's always been quite intriguing and quite interesting to me. I don't know why, but she's always has been, so I thought I would add her to this list. Moving on to number 7. Number 7 is Bane, a person that I fairly started liking very recently after my cousin Dale had downloaded him on 2K17 for the WWE. He's quite an interesting character to me. With that said, let's move on to number 6. Number 6 is Mystique. I think she has always kind of been a unique supervillain, and she truly is a very powerful supervillain at that, and she's an amazing villain. So, let's move on to number 5. Number 5 is the one and only Loki. Now, this one's surprising to me because I've always had a soft spot for Loki, but to be honest with you, I never really got into Thor very well. So, it's quite interesting to me that I have this sort of interest in Loki. Anyways, with that said, let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is Harley Quinn. I think my mom and my sister and my whole family loves Harley Quinn. So, I think that's kind of stems why this is it. So, yeah. Let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is the Joker. To be honest with you, I think everybody has some type of thought on the Joker. Some of you might love him, some of you might hate him, but he's always has something to do in your heart. And I honestly say that the Joker has me intrigued. Anyways, with that said, let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is none other than Carnage. He's always been a quite unique and interesting supervillain to that of SpiderMan. He's always been intriguing to me and quite unique as well. So, it's going to be interesting to see if he should ever make an appearance in any video, DVD, or anything like that. Now let's move on to number 1. And number 1 for my favorite supervillains is Venom. He's always been very unique and he's very similar to Spider-Man. So, he's definitely going to have to be on my number 1 on the supervillain list. I've even talked about getting a tattoo of a baby version of Venom, just because I'm a huge fan of Venom. So he's very, very interesting to me. So with that said, that's about it for this video of the week. Next Wednesday's video of the week will be WWE pay-per-view Hell in a Cell predictions. Have a great day. Peace. Thank you guys for watching.